Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our, what should be our last meeting of this year, 2020, for December 28th. Please rise and join me for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our first order of business is approval of the minutes for a special meeting held by the Board of Commissioners on December 9th, 2020.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve those minutes as submitted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Paula, accounts payable.
Mr. President, I would like to recommend the claims from December 24th through December 28th, 2020 be approved without exception.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the claims as submitted. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Mr. President, I would also like to recommend the payroll dated December 23rd, 2020 be approved without exception.
So move.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve payroll as submitted. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Matt, Resolution 2020-34-CM.
Yes, Tracy, we've prepared for the Commissioners a resolution to allow for a special purchasing method under Indiana Code 5-22-10, specifically looking at 522-10-7 and 8. This is for Frontier equipment. Our office has been informed that the county would like to use as much of its existing Cisco equipment as it can, and it has worked with Frontier, which is the provider, the only provider, according to the Department of Information Technology, that can do what we need them to do without throwing away the Cisco systems that we have. They need to upgrade the entire system that they have. I believe Kent can provide more information, but before any contract can be signed, the Commissioners must make a written finding that they seek a special purchasing power under IC 5-22-10 et al. And so we have prepared this resolution for the Commissioners.
Okay. Any questions for Matt?
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve that resolution, Resolution 2020-34-CM.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2020-34-CM. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Okay. Ken?
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say other than we need a,
Just a little bit of background about the project.
okay. The phone equipment we've got was purchased back in 2011, I'm sorry, 2010. In 2011, Cisco quit selling the equipment, and in 2015, they quit supporting it. So for the last 5 years, there's been no kind of updates to the software at all. We recently experienced issues with similar equipment at Lafayette Police Dispatch and had to replace that. So this is equipment that we need to get replaced. It integrates with the Frontier interface on our phone system, and Frontier needs to set up those interfaces, migrate all the data over from the old to the new.
And there were two different options on the, or two different versions of the contract, as I understand, one for ongoing maintenance and one without. Which are you recommending?
The first one had 3 years of support, and the second one only had a year of support. We're just going to go with a year of support right now. I think we can get a better deal on down the line.
And Matt, dollar amount?
I don't have it on me.
It is, I'll give you a quick breakdown. It's $115,000, $115,084.62 for equipment and $22,288.64 for installation and training services for a total of $137,373.26.
Okay, and that's the 1 year, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then is this being expended from 2020 funds or 2021 funds?
2020 funds.
Okay, okay,
That was the rush to get it in today.
okay.
I guess my question is, looking at the 1-year deal versus the 3-year deal, I assume this equipment's still going to be good for like 3 years or longer or such, or whatever?
Cisco has not announced a end of sale date yet on this equipment. So typically, once they announce an end of sale date, you still have 4 years of support after that.
Okay.
The Frontier side of the support, once they've completed a project, things have been solid with them. So I'm not sure the second, third year support from Frontier will actually be necessary. That's why I'm only doing 1 year. If we get through this first year and everything's working, I think it'll be cheaper just to pay it on a issue as we go, as opposed to a full year or multi-year contract.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions for Kent? I would also add that, Matt, do you have any comments? Additional terms and conditions were presented to us as well.
We prepared additional terms and conditions. These are Tippecanoe County standard terms and conditions. Don't expect any surprises. Otherwise, I can approve the agreement as to form and legality.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve this contract with Frontier Communications as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the contract with Frontier Communications as Kent and Matt outlined. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Under unfinished and new business, I believe we have an item, and Amanda's going to share some information with us from the Health Department.
Good morning. This is just a new MOU. We had an MOU with the Y for our annex shelter, and we are just switching locations because the Y is going back to their normal procedures and cannot handle the annex there. So First Baptist Church of Lafayette has taken on that project. So this MOU is the same one that we signed with the Y, just a different layout on the building side.
Okay.
Any questions?
And I'm sorry, did you say, when is the transition from the YW to?
They should be transitioning this weekend, should be their transition time.
Okay.
We still have transitional they're still under quarantine. Lum is not, so it'll be, this weekend would be a good transition time for them.
And this is just day shelter?
This is just the day shelter. People are able to go in there and rest for a couple of hours, get a meal, because transitional can't take any new clients at this time, and they will not be able to take any new clients until they're off of quarantine. Lum is able to right now in the overnight shelter and the warming stations.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve this MOU with First Baptist Church of Lafayette, subject to additional terms and conditions agreed to by parties.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to accept the MOU as outlined by Commissioner Murtaugh. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion passes. Any public comment?
I would just like to say that obviously, as the last meeting of 2020, it's been an incredibly difficult year, and want to thank all of our departments for everything they've done, especially the Health Department, who continues to work tirelessly to combat this, and of course, TEMA and our Maintenance Department, and the Sheriff's Department. Virtually every department's been affected. I also want to publicly compliment Tracy for his leadership this year. It's been a really unique year, and I think you've done an excellent job leading us through it. So thank you.
Easy when you have a great team, and that's what we have. Dave?
I was saying, it sounds like he wants you to stay president another year. No?
I don't.
Move to adjourn.